Yo, what's up everybody? Right here. Okay, so I kind of said I wasn't gonna do more yet another zombie survivors, but they just released a big update today. We're not gonna do gameplay in this video. I will actually have one more video for you tomorrow for this game, I think, but this one's just gonna be going over the most recent patch update. I haven't actually read through this yet, so we're kind of gonna go through it together and discuss, analyze what we think all this means. So let's just read first. First of all, a huge thank you for the overwhelming amount of quality feedback you've given us. We want to ensure you that we are constantly analyzing and implementing the things you send us. I agree, they definitely do. I think they've been really good about checking out forums, videos, things that are working and things that aren't. And then second, we want you to know that we're aware that we're still a bit short on the content side. I agree, but I think there's enough here for like a week one early access. But you have a promise from us, a small indie team, that there is much more to come. We're starting a public beta branch where we'll be pushing changes that need additional feedback from you, the community, before they go live. Please scroll to the bottom to learn more. All right, let's start with the changes. Okay. So gameplay changes. I did see this first one, and this one makes me so excited because you saw in one of my videos, I complained about the Huntress so much. So improved general aiming of AI characters. Huntress learned how to aim. Thank you. Thank you. Hitbox radius reduced when controlling both solo and duo teams. Health packs collected needed to unlock the medic reduced to 100 from 200. Okay. I think this is a great change. I think unlocking the medic quicker is good. When I played this pre-release, I had to get 500 health packs. Do you know how long that took me? I had to grind 500 health packs, and now it's down to 100. That was a much needed change. Banish options got selected, a little bit corrected. Skill tree, it no longer requires you to have at least 1 point spent in the upgrade. Thank you. That's a really good change too, because the way they had that skill tree set up, it wasn't clear. It didn't seem like you needed to have one previous point in the one before it to unlock it, because once you put like 10, 20 or however many points it was, the next tier just unlocked. And so it didn't make sense that you needed to put a point in previously. That did seem kind of weird, so I'm glad they fixed that. Let's see, reroll options got kind of fixed. Stat clamping systems improved to clamp values. I don't know what that means. Bloom settings, that's good because there's a lot of that. Okay, mouse movement options added. It's possible to use different keys. On-screen indicators, arrows, and dots are now okay, I think this is supposed to mean distinct. Are now distinct, animated, and are displayed over. Okay, so it just makes it easier to see. So now we have indicators for currently equipped weapons and their reload status displayed above the skills. Okay. Added an option to thank you. That's another good one too. Added the option to refund single upgrade points instead of having to do the whole tree. That's definitely a much needed quality of life. Let's see, feedback effect for successfully parrying incoming damage. You can parry. Does that successfully parrying? Does that just mean dodge? Let's see, the form feedback added a confirmation window when trying to quit the current run. A new pause menu option was added, allowing to conclude the run. I wonder. I wonder if they saw my endless mode run for that one, because I couldn't quit the run. If you saw that video too, I couldn't quit the run. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people had that issue too, but yeah, I couldn't leave. I couldn't leave without just quitting the game. So that's good, because sometimes you don't have the full, like, you just want to end the run, see what damage you did and things like that. Okay, so issues and bug fixes. I guess we don't really need to go over all this. This is just gonna be things that weren't working as intended. Let's see. Yeah, things like healing potion now properly display current health. Lifesteal values are now properly hidden. SWAT helicopter strike ability no longer despawned. Okay, so global balance fixes. Okay. Base critical damage reduced to 150 from 200. Okay, that's a nerf. Freezing effects now slow zombies by 75% from 50. That's a buff, right? Now slows, yeah. Exploding zombie damage area fog radius increased by 10%. Exploding zombie damaging area fog radius? I'm not quite sure what that means. Healing option on the level up screen value has increased 500. That's a good buff. So now when you level up, instead of getting that 200, you can get 500. I like that. Money increased 2 to 500. That's a good buff. Stone skin power up duration reduced. That's a nerf. That's a 3-second nerf. That's a pretty big nerf. It's raining min achievement. The most asked about achievement in this game has been what seems to be properly fixed. Achievement numbers of required okay, so you need to get zombies going airborne, and that's usually with the explosions, reduced to 10. So it was 20 before. That's probably a good change, because you don't know just hundreds of comments about how do I get this achievement. It's by far the most asked about achievement I get. Okay, then we have survivor balance. Okay, so now we get to the nitty gritty. This is going to be the balance changes. Okay, so SWAT. Leader perk now grants 5, 10, and 20% reload speed from 2. Okay, that's a pretty big buff. That's going to double the reload speed. Helicopter strike ability collision box width increased to 12. That's a buff. So now we're going to be doing more helicopter strike damage. I like that. Okay, now tank leader perk now gives 10, 20, and 30 armor instead of 10 or 100, 200, 300 max HP. Huh. I don't know about that. It makes sense to give him armor. I guess we'll have to play around with that to see if that's a buff or a nerf though. It kind of, I don't know, because in the end of the game you're getting one-shotted by those bosses anyways. So I'd almost like to see more armor. I don't know how much 30 armor is gonna do when you're getting hit for 2,000 damage. Okay, then minefield ability cooldown reduced to 20 seconds. Okay, so that's a buff. Let's see, electric turret ability reduced to 15 seconds from 30. That's a buff. And the electric turret ability now increases its range on level up instead of reducing. Okay, there we go. That's the kicker right there. That's probably a good buff though, because just straight up reducing it to 15 seconds is good. And now increasing its range is definitely a buff. So overall, that's a buff. Let's see. Now, Eagle Eye ability now grants 10% critical. That's a big buff. Because before it was, I'm pretty sure it was 5. I wonder why they don't put the previous in here. But that used to be 5. Thank you. Explosive arrows and freezing arrows now has increased fire rate. Much needed buff for her. Explosive arrows, weapon projectiles now explode after. Okay, the Huntress definitely got a nice buff here. Her freezing arrows were super lackluster, but with an increased fire rate, that'll be nice. And she's gonna get, so what's this gonna give her? 50 or 60% critical strike? Or critical oh my gosh. I totally read that wrong. So the ability now also grants 10% critical damage per level. Wow. So now you're gonna get, what, 25 or 30% critical strike chance along with 10% critical damage each level. That's a pretty significant buff. Wow. I totally read that wrong the first time. Okay, then explosive arrows, they explode quicker. Thank you. I agree with all these. I think the Huntress was one of the worst characters, mainly just because she was really awkward to play as. So good for them. Ghost, the kunai ability cooldown reduced to 5 seconds. Okay, that's a I see this next one. Okay, so the kunai reduced from 5 seconds to 10. And now critical protocol ability now grants 35% critical chance and 50. Wait. Okay. yeah, okay. So this is a change. It's, again, I don't know if this is a buff or nerf again, because this is, they lowered the critical chance by 15%, but now they're adding critical damage. That feels like a buff. I wonder how that's gonna play out. That'll need some testing. I'm not the guy to test that out though. I'm not a min-max player, but that does sound like a buff. Because now grants, it's gonna give you 15% less critical chance, but now it also gives you a 50% critical damage buff. I think that sounds good. Wow, and the medic has gotten a ton of changes. Much needed changes. Okay, so the antidote vaccine item strength increased by around 15%. Good. Handgun increased from 45 to 45 from 35. Okay, that's a good buff, but I don't know if that's gonna change really anything. Okay, well here we go too. Weapon damage per level increased to 20 from 10, so that's, yeah, that might change it. Syringe gun per second increased to 40, so doubled. Shortens the reload time, good. A antidote flask and freezing flask weapons base throw intervals lowered to 2 seconds. Thank you. She's getting significantly buffed here. The damage per second increased to 40. Let's see. Weapon minimal tick damage per tick increased to 10. Wow, this is a lot of buffs for her. Damage per second increased. Look at this. Weapon damage increased to 100. Okay, no, this is the freezing flask now. That's a big buff. Weapon damage increased to 100 from 20. That's a big buff. Weapon damage per level increased to 20. Wow, she's still not gonna be a high DPS character, but she's gonna be much more useful with that. Okay, zombies affected by the antidote vaccine effect now also explode when killed by another damage. Oh, I didn't know they didn't. To be honest, I didn't know that was a thing. I just assumed if they were under the vaccine, if they died, they would explode. I never knew that was a thing. That's a significant buff for her then. That's a significant buff. I don't think you understand how big of a buff that is. Because now especially if you get the antidote flask, you're spreading that flask to a lot of different zombies. And so now if you're shredding them with your rockets or your turrets or just anything, now it's gonna spread that effect. I didn't know that they only exploded when killed by that serum. I just assumed. I think that's a huge buff. Okay, and then the medical education now grants, oh my gosh. Now grants 5. So this is the PhD. I wonder if they changed the name. This is what they call the PhD. Now grants 5 HP per level from 2 HP. Big buff. I like that. Okay, let's see. Now we got some item balance improvements. Frying pan increases. Item armor increase change to 7.5 from 5. Now, so they're buffing armor for sure. They're trying to make armor more of a thing now. Armor increase change to 15 from 10. Now increases the armor of, yeah, look at this. The first 3 items are all about increasing the armor. And then the tank changes too. Okay, medkit now grants 5 HP instead of 2. Stretcher now grants 7 instead of 4. Wooden stick now gives 10% XP instead of 5. And then health potion now gives 100 HP instead of 300. I think these are really good changes. I love these changes. I appreciate that for the most part, they didn't really nerf anything. Because a lot of developers, they just like to, if something's doing well, they just nerf it to the ground. I don't think they really nerfed anything. some things were changed, and I don't know if that's necessarily a nerf or a buff yet. That'll be things to see as we play the game. But I like the change, like especially this critical protocol. I'm not against that change. I think 35% is a fair critical chance, and then on top of adding, so instead of just saying, okay, 50% is too much, we're gonna nerf it to 35. But instead of just doing that, they also gave you the damage, so that's cool. Okay, and then upcoming changes. First content update, so coming soon. Manual aiming, I knew that was coming. Let's see, they've done this. I think a codex encyclopedia will be cool, just so you can read about the monsters and abilities and things like that, and then separate save options. So cool. Overall, I think really, really good, promising changes. This is still an early access game, so we're going to be seeing a lot of changes throughout this game's life. I really do like these changes, though. So I don't know if I'm gonna try to. I know in the beginning of this video I said I'm gonna put out another. I'm gonna try to. If I don't get a video out, let me know in the comments below what you think of these changes, and especially some of these ones, especially the tank armor and the critical protocol. I think those are the ones I'm most curious about, and I guess the Huntress too, because the Huntress and the medic got okay, just everybody. Just let me know about everybody, because I think everybody got pretty significant buffs here. I like it. I like it a lot. But that's gonna be it. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah, just let me know. Let me know what you think about these changes. I think they're all pretty good. I'm glad to see that this game was released just over a week ago, right? Just over a week ago. And they've already put out 2 pretty significant balance updates. So thank you, devs. You're doing a great job with this game. Keep up the hard work. And thanks everybody for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope you enjoy these changes. Catch you later.